there. Welcome to The Sacred Journey. The Sacred Journey is the program that reminds you that life is a wonderful adventure and each and every experience we have is a unique and perfect opportunity for learning. I'm delighted once again to have my dear friend Agneta Borstein for Individual Evolutionary Opportunities 2023. I hope you were fortunate enough to watch our last show together of Collective Evolutionary Opportunities 2023. Agneta is, oh my goodness, she's so many things: astrologer, shamanic practitioner, teacher, author, and you have an amazing gift, an amazing way of explaining astrology to people that makes it so real. So thank you for agreeing to come back again. And for the record, you have an open invitation to come back anytime as long as I am doing this show.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to put the ball in
Yeah.
your court now. You have so much to share.
Yeah, well, in the other collective opportunities, is like we might have to do our own work. So that's why I decided to separate them. Now, when we talk about each individual zodiac sign, it's 12 of them. So I have to not talk too fast, but there is that we always start the springtime with Aries. And in that, there will be an overlay of opportunities for your audience to kind of take back at 2023 is a new beginning. Every springtime is a new beginning when spring equinox happens on this year, of course, March 20th. And I will go through them by spring, summer, fall, and winter solstice or the equinox, just to consolidate that there is a shift that when we as individual zodiac signs, that you might know your sun sign, most of you, I hope. Little Scorpio over there, right?
No,
No?
I'm Sagittarius.
Why does he have in Scorpio? Maybe I made that mistake before too.
I don't remember because you have looked at my chart.
Yeah, I
Say I'm not
know.
an astrologer, but my sun sign is
Yeah,
Sagittarius.
and the Sagittarius would typically be the teacher, the educator, and bringing out knowledge is a nice sign. So I always thought that, well, I can't be right in my memories.
We'll have to have you take another look sometime.
Right. Yeah, right. So it's just sometimes too, I feel that when I have these, I will share the screen, because with the 12 zodiac sign would be forever to go through them thoroughly. So I'm going to share the screen in this way. And I'm going to move that slideshow from the beginning like that.
Beautiful.
So,
thank you.
Yeah, individual evolutionary opportunities during 2023. One thing in astrology is like when Mercury goes retrograded, everybody stops doing anything. And I always have good laughs about it, because by maturity, we realize there are certain times that I won't do anything or sign certain important papers, but it stays retrograded for 40 days and we got to move on. This year, what is special is that all the Mercury retrograde schedules are in Earth. And in the other segment, it is about being appreciative to be here for a short second, which is a long life for many people. So we have these special part of being in the moment, and the opportunity for you to this time, when Mercury is retrograded in December to January, April through May, August through September, December through January 2nd of 2024. It might be good for you to take the walks on Earth, in the woods. You can swim in the water, but it's also be allowed to appreciate what you have accomplished. Because as we know, there was quite a few people that didn't make it. So every day we should wake up to say we are still here. So as it is, let's see here. So spring equinox, I'm going to move us. Can I move us? No, I'm going to go back.
I don't think we can. Yeah.
So let's see, that goes backwards. There we go. The mechanism.
Okay, great.
What I want to share that last year, I adore the moon because the sun stays in one zodiac sign for 30 days, but the moon changes every 2.5 days. So full moons, new moons are very strong anytime, but they also are not so strong as or powerful as during eclipses. And they have been in the sign of Taurus, Scorpio. They stay in one sign for 19 months. So Aries is going to come forth already in April to be more noticeable. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac sign. So we take those first quadrant. This is a zodiac wheel. So we have this part of, Joyce, is you and I cover the whole zodiac wheel? Or what do you see?
What I see is it says Spring Equinox 2023, and I see a chart. And unfortunately, since I don't know how to read it, I'm just going to describe it. It's got 3 blue arrows on the top. The left side doesn't have a lot of things.
No?
Things in
No,
the
right. Well, that's
right
part of the
there.
whole theory that I'm trying to explain, because what I see, Joyce, is you and I. Nice seeing you.
Oh no, our
Yeah,
screen.
good. Because sometimes you don't know on this other side, and many times I have you Zoom often. So
Okay.
that helps me to
Okay.
say that Aries is the first sign of all the zodiac sign and will be eclipsed for 19 months. But that's beneficial for all Aries to know that this is a year of being noticed. They go into the axis of Aries and Libra. We will get into Libra, hopefully. And the other ones that are kind of concluding is Taurus, Scorpio. They were very strong in the year of 2022, and will have in 2023 to conclude their journey of powerful Taurus, Earth, Scorpio, birth and death at the same moment. They are then concluding their journey in May 5th and October 14th. So just to keep that in mind, if it was Taurus or Scorpio, it will shift into different energies. More about, I have said it quite often, which with Aries, that's me, I'm the self. But we all need to learn about how to be selfish in an unselfish way, because of the collective way that all individuals can take part of.
I love that saying. I just made a little adjustment here. Are you now able to see that screen, what you had?
Yes,
You're able to see what you had hoped to see?
yes, I did.
Okay, good. Then I'll leave
Yeah.
it that way.
Yes. Because of the arrows, that would be the Aries, and that would be the first arrow. That's spring equinox, when the sun, why do we have more light? As the earth has an axis, it goes away for 23.5 degrees away from the sun, and then they move, as in the southern hemisphere there was winter and we now have the spring. And astrologically, in the collective part 1, this is part 2, there is that Taurus will still be in Uranus. Yes, Uranus will still be in Taurus until 2026. So even though the eclipses will subside in Taurian lives, if you will, Uranus still stays around 15 degrees and will not go out of a Taurus until 2026. Gemini, which is the 1, 2, 3 signs, but also, as you can see, there has been a lot of consolidation of those planets. Are we getting the message? Not as we call it, splash. So Gemini, I just want to mention that Gemini, of course, rules the nerves and the chatter and communication. And that was very strong in a lot of people's lives, because Gemini challenges Neptune in Pisces. So there could be like confusion. And I heard some clients with this kind of degree, it will go out in February 12th. January 12th, but will not go into Cancer until March 25th. It's just a little bit about Gemini sometimes being just too busy to slow down. And that will follow for a while, but we will get to that. Talking about the next summer solstice, which will be the other 3 signs in the quadrant of astrology: Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. So because of now we have the summer solstice when the sun stands still on the equator for a while and moves forward. And then we go into the real summer and move into other times. Because this Capricorn guy that we have spoken a lot about, Pluto in Capricorn, you can listen to that in the segment of 1. But depending on the degree of Cancer, Cancer has been affected by this Pluto, depending on the birth day that you are born. But it will also benefit now, after a while, Cancer will benefit Saturn in both Neptune and Saturn in Neptune. Both Neptune, Saturn in Pisces will benefit the Cancer. Now, Leo, which is something that we all should admire during the summer, retrograde us when we're talking about 4 times a year, but Venus only goes retrograded every 14 months, every 2 years, around 2 years. And she is beautiful to watch during the summer months. When she starts to get retrograded July 23rd and then goes direct on September 14th, she will actually disappear out of sight for 40 days. She will be, during the summer, an evening star where we can see her bright. She even, not like Mars, but she's bright, almost as bright as Jupiter at times. When she goes underground, underworld, she then comes up again in the right away on, where do I have that? She will come up again July 23rd, stay September 14th. So for 40 days, she just lost in the underworld. But it also benefits a lot of that seeking about peace, love, and harmony. And that's part of the Leo will have some challenges with the eclipses coming the Taurus and Scorpio way. Not to worry about it. It's good to retreat, some extra massage or healing. Now the sign Virgo, this is the sign of Leo, by the way, that has beautiful, this Venus is here. You don't have to learn the symbols of astrology, by the way, because that's a different language, says Joyce. Thank God.
Yes, I tried. It's too difficult for me.
I'm teaching basic astrology is very fun because it is a different language. You can hear my little Swedish accent, you know, that's a language you have to learn, not Swedish astrology. And then you go A, B, C, and it's all put together. So Virgo, you know, kind of disappeared here, but he will be opposite Saturn and some part of Neptune. And that would be what I remember, the Virgo always want to have the perfect tools and the perfect answer. During the August 23rd through September 15th, all Virgos might have to do a little extra check on their perfectionist. I love it because you always come out perfect at the end of the day. So nothing wrong with that, but it's just a little bit of it, could be a little bit of the challenge for the making sure we all actually, this retrograde motion in 2023 is beneficial for all of us. They always are, but this is to make sure we journal, make sure we are still here, take care of our recycle issues, recycle the flowers, make sure that we are on earth for a good reason. We are still here. When we get into the fall for the 3 other quarter of astrology wheel is Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. You must have had something in Scorpio. And I'm like,
it sounds familiar, but I can't remember. There was so much.
We'll have to check on that.
We'll make some time for that.
Yeah, right. So with Libra and the axis of Aries, Libra changing from Taurus, Scorpio, it should be all our mantra. Love yourself. Not just a selfish way, but making sure that we are relating to family and those around us for beneficial healing. That's the moon's nodes, which is actually my specialty. They intersect between the sun and the moon, and it happens to be in the Vedic astrology, they are considered planets. So, and they are caused, an eclipse doesn't happen without the moon's nodes involvement, and they will change into the axis of Libra, Libra Aries on July 16. Enough Taurus, Scorpio, but we have Taurus still in Uranus that we have to respect and be ourselves with our freedom.
Every July 16th or just the upcoming one in 2023?
Thank you. Only now in 2023.
Okay.
They stay in one sign for 19 months, and they always go backwards in the zodiacs, as we might be able to see here. I had said that it changed in July, so now we're in the fall, and it's 25, and then it goes down to 24, 23, instead of the way we always do the planets from 0 to 30. They go from 30 to 0. I have contemplated, the reason is, if we go back in time, never mind past lives, realizing we all have some wounds, and actually this little guy here, Chiron, he is the Chiron, the god of healing. So there's a lot of opportunities for all of us, but especially the Libra Aries axis, to be able to, kind of pay attention to it, and to be able to, the next 19 months, to be able to say, I'm not all about me. I have to share into the other side of Libra, which is peace and harmony, always. So yes, it's a lot. And we see still Uranus and Jupiter coming here. They don't move until they move. And that's what I wanted to be, not sarcastic about the sky, but saying we need to be looking at different ways of dealing with our own individual opportunities to stay in our positive ways, in our healing ways. And we have seen the increase of alternative healing, and especially alternative doctors. We didn't know that before. Now they're all over the place, and we are more respected and accepted in our alternative ways of living. And so are you. So the Scorpio is always surviving. There has been that, like I said, in the Taurus, the axis will be now in the Scorpio in May and October, still in 2023. And that's part of why we consider opposition Taurus, opposite here is Scorpio. It happens to not be the symbol. That's an astronomical thing that we don't have to go into now. We could, we still have a little time. We always run out of time.
Yeah,
but
we're good,
it's just a technical thing that all the 12 zodiac signs has to be represented. And here Aries comes Taurus, comes Gemini, goes opposite Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius. So you have an opposition, even though I couldn't get those signs in as I run out of time.
Well, we actually have quite a bit of time because I've tried to be very good and not do a lot of interrupting. So we actually have many minutes left if you'd like to elaborate on anything.
That's great, because I think the other time was that collective was so much. So why don't we get to Sagittarius then?
Sure.
Since you insist on being in a Sagittarius. Why not? But if we knew your moons, I always, you could even say, you don't have to, but look up your moon signs. When I started to study astrology, I'm like, I have to be my moon sign, which happens to be Pisces. And so there is a connection with the moon in our charts about the soul. The rules the mother, as Saturn might be the father. But we also connect to the subconscious to be conscious about our own emotional state of being. And we don't have to freak out during the full moons or new moons. They are just as strong. So we kind of go into this part of our charts when we know the moon signs. It's more familiar to us. We react more in our way of dealing with certain aspects of the moon. So Sagittarius, at this moment, Joyce is going to say, there is nothing in Sagittarius and I have a very busy life. So there has been no major planets as perhaps Capricorn, the clumping together of Capricorn, Aries, Taurus. We don't rule the sky. It's just how then sometimes that works accordingly. And also, as we have some time, sometimes the ecliptic is around the circle of the 12 zodiac signs. And when we then look at they have to fit in somewhere, then this message about what I call evolutionary possibilities is that certain signs has been more hit, more busier than some other ones, but it's not in the individual consciousness that we have all felt it in the collective. So Joyce then has had no major planet on her individual planets of the moving planets. We say the planets on the ecliptic are dancing stars in cycles, and that's how we do see them. They come together to be together, just like you and I. So Sagittarius would be good for like what would be your goal from now on. You're busy, you're successful. It challenges the Saturn coming into Pisces March 8th. And that's good to know that already Neptune is coming out of Pisces, but not until 2026. So being a Sagittarius, I wouldn't call you at all as you have been the Sagittarius, the teacher, the people who, collect information. Sagittarius is a visionary, beautiful sign. And also not only the educational part, but it's also travel. Jim and I travel short here and there, but Jim and Sagittarius has a bigger vision. And that might be appropriate for you to think about how can you outside continue what you have done for so many years and so beautifully. But am I making sense that we might have heard the rumor about the new age? That is 2026. So you continue doing what you're doing, and that's Saturn then discipline. Sometimes we have to relax so that we don't get too overwhelmed and do too much for people.
That sounds familiar.
Pisces is the nurse. Pisces is the healer. Healer, heal thyself could be time out for Joyce a little bit.
Yeah, and I've been doing a lot more international travel and leading international retreats. So when you said international, that's something that's kind of blossoming in my world the last couple of years. So I'm looking around, and part of the image is cut off because of the words, but some of the symbols I remember and recognize. I'm not 100% certain I'm seeing the area of Sagittarius. Like some of them I recognize. I believe it's the archer. So
this is the Sagittarius symbol.
That's the one I thought that's kind of blank in that
Well,
area.
it's blank because you don't have any planets activated there.
Okay.
You would have it when your sun is there, as in, in the fall, in October or September, October, that then the sun will be there. The fast moving planets moves fast, as in the sun once a month, the moon every 2.5 days. So that's why I was pointing out, for example, then go back to Sagittarius, does very well with the Aries energy that comes through, and can reach out better than some other signs. So just because I always, and of course, sometimes you look at a natal chart, I don't have anything in those charts. It's because you focus on something else in this lifetime. I always say we choose our own reality, we choose our own chart. There's a reason for it.
Absolutely, I agree. And I'm looking at our clock now, knowing that we're almost out of time, but I wanted to point one thing out, that it's not a political statement, it's an observation. In the last week, there has been so much talk about what's happening in the sky with balloons and unidentified objects. And so now there's an awareness or an attention upward to the sky. Does that have any relevance?
It might. I thought about that. I do think that Mars in Gemini has a lot to do with it, because that's unusual as it is. And it won't go out until in March into Cancer. I thought about it. It's part of Uranus too, because Uranus is unexpected with UFO, something different comes in. And it puts fear on some people. It does.
I like the aspect of it is more people are aware of the whole part of the universe that is skyward. So I thought of it as a good thing, as an invitation to be more aware of what's happening, and that maybe people will be receptive to learning about the planets and the stars and astrology and things.
Yeah, unless there's security risk, because there could be security risk. And I took it more like, I was kind of laughing. I was like, yeah, now what next? So let me finish with the winter solstice, because that's my favorite. Capricorn, we have gone through how many more minutes? 2 or 3 minutes?
Maybe 1.
Capricorn. Capricorn has done enough work. Thank you very much. There is that November 20th, 2024. Aquarius, the Aquarius ages, challenges with eclipses, getting a break though from the other eclipses that is also occurring at. Energies continue, faith in the future. Pisces join Neptune in now, March 8th, comes into Pisces, but they're not really close until 2026. In conclusion, it's not that we're going to sit and roll our thumb. People like Joyce, people like me, people like you, we're going to continue being who we have become. If this is your first approach to alternative ways of thinking, welcome to a beautiful, long-living club.
Oh, what a beautiful way to put it. And I will share your contact info with people, because surely questions will come up and people will want to know more. But once again, I'm always so honored and grateful to have you share your wisdom. And we will do this again for sure, because we know things are not going to stay the way they are. They will.
Nope, gotta be there. No rolling thumb, and you continue doing the beautiful work that you do. And thank you so much again. Always a pleasure.
My pleasure and honor. So thank you, Agneta. Thank you, viewers, for joining us on the Sacred Journey. We'll catch you next time.
Riverview Apartments is Bristol's 2-time beautification award-winning residence community for adults age 55 and older. They offer 1 or 2 bedroom apartments with modern appliances, air conditioning, wall-to-wall carpet, and tiled floors. Both heat and hot water are included. Riverview also offers a wide range of activity rooms that include a billiard parlor and a spacious community room. It is handicap accessible with safe, secure parking for tenants and ample off-street parking for visitors. 860-940-6757 or riverviewbristol.com.